This is your lecture number 4, paper EL 4501, unit 4, and this is for CIA 2 exam. Now we are discussing about the bistable multivibrator. Bistable multivibrator. We already discussed multivibrator, three types: astable multivibrator, monostable, multivibrator, and now we are discussing about the bistable multivibrator. See, there is no external pulse. Here there is one generator through we generate pulse and we trigger the circuit for change the state. In bistable there are two pulse or signal needed. So there are two generators. There is one generator here, two generator. Astable, no stable state. Monostable, one stable state, one quasi-stable state. Here, bistable, there are two stable state. This is the short way to remember multivibrators. Now we are discussing about the bistable multivibrator. In bistable multivibrator, it is also known as flip-flop. It is also known as flip-flop or trigger circuit or binary. It has two stable states. A trigger pulse applied to the circuit will cause it to switch from one state to another. Another trigger pulse is then required to switch the circuit back to its original state. So first initial condition, first trigger pulse, we are getting the first stable state. To convert in the second stable state, there is a need of external signal. So we are getting second stable state. Now to come back to original first stable state, there is a need of second external signal. So this is known as reset and this is known as set. That means to get the original stable state. This is the shortest form to understand the bistable multivibrator. A trigger pulse applied to the circuit will cause it to switch from one state to another. Another trigger pulse, that means this, second, it is used required to switch the circuit back to its original state. Now we are see the circuit diagram of the bistable multivibrator. So this is the circuit diagram of bistable multivibrator. What is inside this? Nothing but two transistors, NPN transistors Q1 and Q2, supply VCC. We already know two generators which generate the signal to trigger this. So this is our first for the set and this is our second for the reset. When we are applying this, right, to make original state, we are applying this to the base of the transistor of Q1. To reset this signal, it is applied to the base of the transistor of Q2. That means here two generators generate the two signals which is given to the base of Q1 and Q2 in the way of the circuit diagram. We can get the two stable state in this bistable multivibrator. So supply plus VCC and ground, or maybe minus VBB because it is given to the base of the transistor of the Q1 and Q2, right? RC1, RC1 is the resistance of the collector of the transistor Q1, RC2 is the resistance of the collector of the transistor Q2. This is all this according to the figure. Output, it is coming from the here. This is your VC2, and this is your VC1. This from this point to the ground is our first output, and we can take the output from here also, the collector of the Q1 also, but it is in the reverse mode. From the figure, this use the two NPN transistors. In this circuit, the output of a transistor Q2, that means this, it is connected, that means it is coupled to the base. This is the base, of, it is coupled to the base of a transistor Q2, it is coupled to the base of the transistor Q1 through resistor R2. See here, this is connected to through R2, connected to the base of the Q1. Similarly, the output of Q1 it is coupled to the base of the Q2 through resistor R1. Now, when abruptly changing pulse is applied to the circuit, the transition from one state to other should occur instantaneously. The transition time, that is the time interval during which conduction transfer from one transistor to other, should be as small as possible. So when we apply externally signal this, then the transition occur, that means one form to another form, right? The main purpose of the capacitor C1 and C2 is to improve the switching characteristics of the circuit. So what is the function of C1 and C2? To improve the switching characteristics of the circuit by passing the high frequency component of these square wave pulses. That means the output is your square wave. This allows fast rise and fall time so that this square wave will not be distorted. C1 and C2 are hence called cumulative capacitors. C1 and C2 are known as cumulative which is more improving the switching characteristics of the circuit, right? And it is known as cumulating capacitors. Also known as speed up capacitors or transposed capacitors. Now, when the circuit is first switched on, so we first of all switched on the circuit, plus VCC is switched on, what happened? One of the transistor will start conducting more than the other. either Q1 start, either Q2 start. One of the transistor, both are identical, but due to some internal character HIE, HFE, depending upon the Q1 and Q2, right? One transistor is start conducting fast than other. Now, when the circuit is first switched on, one of the transistor will start conducting more than other. This transistor is hence driven into saturation. Saturation means switched on condition. Then because of the regenerative feedback action, the other transistor is taken into cutoff, right? So one transistor is switched on, that means in saturation mode, the other transistor is cut off. Let us assume that transistor Q1 is on and Q2 is off. So we assume that Q1 is on and Q2 is off when we are switched on. It is stable state of the circuit and will remain in this state till a trigger pulse is applied from the outside. So this is our first stable state. When we are switched on VCC, we consider that Q1 is switched on and Q2 is switched off. This is our first stable state. It is a stable state of the circuit and will remain in this state till a trigger pulse is applied from the outside. So to change its state, whether this externally applied signal from here or from here, a positive trigger pulse applied to the reset input. Hence now we reset the state, that means we change the state. We are applying here this trigger pulse to the base of the transistor of Q2, right? What happened when we are applying this? Then Q2 is on. Why it is on? Because the necessary voltage is given to the base of the transistor Q2. A positive triggering pulse applied to the reset input increases its forward bias, thereby turning transistor Q2 on. Hence Q2 is in on condition, and an increase in collector current and decrease in collector voltage. When the Q2 is on, then whatever the voltage here, that means VCC, it is decreasing. The fall in the collector voltage is now coupled to the base of the Q1. This voltage it is coupled to the base of the Q1, right? So what happened? This voltage, whatever voltage here, it is now in decreasing mode, nearly zero mode, wherein it reverse bias the base emitter circuit and Q1 is thus switched off. So if there is no voltage, very less voltage, thus this Q1 is in switched off condition. Switched off condition, that means in cutoff condition. The circuit is then its second stable state and remains so till a positive trigger pulse is applied to the circuit, right? So here this is on, this is off, right? This is our second stable state. Now to coming back to the original position, we have to apply the set signal, that means externally applied the pulse to the base of the transistor of the Q1, base of the transistor of the Q1. A similar action can be achieved by applying a negative pulse at the set input for transition from the first stable state to the second stable state, and by applying a negative pulse at the reset input, reverse transition can be obtained. The circuit is then its second stable state and remains so till a positive trigger pulse is applied, right? So I repeat this. When we switched on, we consider that Q1 is switched on and Q2 is off. This is our first stable state. Now to get the second stable state, we are applying here signal. So when we are applying signal here, this is in on condition. When this is on condition, the voltage decreases here, right? This voltage decreases, that means the base voltage decreases, that means this is in off condition. Now again we want to get the first stable state again, then we have to apply externally signal. this signal is applied to the base of the transistor here. So this is now in on condition. When this is in on condition, the voltage across this, that means Vc1, it is decreasing. This is connecting here the base of the Q2. So this voltage is very less to switch on the Q2. So Q2 is in off condition. Now the figure shows the waveform. These are the waveform. See the waveform of the bistable multivibrator. Vc1, that means collector voltage across the transistor Q1. Vc2, collector voltage of transistor Q2. This is your reset pulse and this is your set pulse, right? So initial condition, we consider that Q1 is in switched on condition. When Q1 is in switched on condition, that means the voltage here is very less because this is on. So voltage Vc1 here, voltage is nearly zero, saturation mode. So see here Vc1 is very less. At that time, if this is on, that means we say that Q2 is off. So voltage across the Vc2, right, it is maximum because this is not in on condition. So whatever the Vcc is given here, it is here the voltage is Vcc, right? So see Vc2, it is equal to maximum, that means Vcc applied voltage, right? At that time what happened? There is no external signal given, there is no external pulse given, so there is no pulses, right? There is no pulses. Set pulse, there is no reset pulse, there is no set pulse. Now when we are applying reset pulse, when we are applying reset pulse, at that time Q1 is off. At that time Q1 is off, that means Vc1 is maximum, because if Q1 is off, the Vcc is not passing through this. So all the Vcc is here. What is the value of Vcc? Vc1. Vc1 is, it is equal to maximum voltage applied voltage, that means Vcc. So when Q1 is off, at that time we are getting Vc1 maximum. But we know that at that time Q2 is Q2 is on. If Q2 is on, so if this Vcc, it is passing through the transistor, that means Vc2 is nearly zero saturation voltage, that means see here, this is zero, right? All this process, it is due to the reset pulse. There is no use of set pulse. All this is due to the reset pulse, there is no set pulse. Again, when we are set pulse, that means this second stable state to original first stable state, we are applying set pulse. At that time again Q1 is on and Q2 is off. That means Q1 is on, that means Vc1 is minimum, say Vc is saturated, and at that time Q2 is off and there is no voltage Vcc is passing, hence Vc2 is maximum. See here Vc2 is maximum. At that time what is the position of the reset pulse? There is no reset pulse we are applying, we are only applying set pulse. So in this way we discuss this graph. Now the last one is the applications. So in short, when we are discussing this the waveforms at the collector of transistors Q1 and Q2 of the bistable multivibrator in response to the trigger pulse applied to the set and reset input. What happened on the in this graph when we are applying reset pulse and set pulse. The last thing we are discussing here, applications. The application of the bistable multivibrator. So first application, we can say that the bistable multivibrator is used as a memory element in shift registers, counters. It is used as a memory elements in shift registers and counters. Second application, it is used to generate square wave, pure square wave, generator of the square wave. It is used to generate the square wave of symmetrical shape by sending regular triggering pulse to the input by adjusting the frequency of the input trigger pulse. By triggering pulse, adjusting the triggering pulse, we can change the value of the square wave. That means the width of the square wave can be changed. And the last application, third application is it can also be used as a frequency divider. It is used as a frequency divider, as a divide by 2 counter, as a divide by 2 counter. So this complete your bistable multivibrator. Thank you.